Do you feel things deeply? Do your emotions seem to come out of nowhere and hit you like a ton of bricks? And do they often last a long time? If this describes you, then Dialectical Behavior Therapy, or DBT, may be for you. DBT helps you to change your relationship with your emotional experiences. It's as if you are now driving the car and observing your emotions in the passenger seat next to you. You are no longer controlled by your emotions taking charge. DBT will enable you to step out and look at your own emotions as a third person might, rather than immediately acting on them. DBT helps to decrease feelings of loneliness, emptiness, depression, feeling like others just don't get you, fears of abandonment, feeling stressed, difficulty with change, reactivity, chaotic relationships, up and down extreme emotions, and acting impulsively. DBT, or Dialectical Behavior Therapy, is a relatively short-term treatment that has substantial research supporting that it works. The D, for dialectical, describes the synthesis or merging of trying to change something while simultaneously radically accepting that it is what it is. For example, accepting that this is how life is at this time and working on changing it. What are the things that I can do that will improve my life? Acceptance does not mean inaction. We may need to respond strongly at times from skillful means instead of reacting. Common dialectic we see in DBT is, I'm doing the best I can, and I want to be doing better. The irony is that we first must accept or acknowledge life as it is in order to make change. In DBT, dialectical strategies help both the therapist and the client get unstuck from extreme positions. The B in DBT stands for behavior, and in DBT, behaviors include all actions, thoughts, and feelings. In DBT, we work with reinforcers to increase the likelihood that behaviors we want to increase will do so, and we look at shaping new behaviors to build the life we most want. In DBT, your core focus is working with your therapist towards your life worth living goal. Of course, all lives are worth living. In DBT, we are focused on helping you build a life that you love to live, one in which you're working toward and accomplishing the things you most want. Your life worth living goal is what the treatment is focused on, not what others' goals are for you. It is not about changing you into how others want you to be or change things about you that others want you to change. It's all about what you want. DBT has 4 modes that must be included in the treatment. Individual therapy, which is very different than other types of individual therapies. More on that shortly. Skills group. This is a class that teaches you a valuable arsenal of tools that are tremendously beneficial throughout life. These are the very tools that help to increase one's emotional intelligence. In skills group, group members learn the 4 modules of skills, which include mindfulness, which is the practice of being fully aware and living in the present moment. Mindfulness decreases suffering and increases happiness. Mindfulness is paying attention on purpose in a particular way without labeling things as good or bad and without trying to control an outcome. The distress tolerance module focuses on how to tolerate emotionally painful, uncomfortable, and difficult situations while improving your ability to accept reality as it is. The emotion regulation module teaches you how to understand and manage overwhelming emotions, decrease the frequency of uncomfortable emotions, and increase the frequency of pleasurable ones. And finally, the interpersonal effectiveness module focuses on how to maintain self-respect and develop strong relationships while asking for what you want, saying no to what you don't want, and creating healthy boundaries. Third, with phone coaching, you will have access to your therapist 24/7 to help you use these new skills when you most need them, in your day-to-day life. And lastly, your therapist is on a DBT consultation team using the same structure and skills. A DBT consultation team helps us to be a community of therapists supporting a community of clients. In DBT, in individual therapy, you and your therapist are equals, working together towards your goals. That is, what you most want. Examples of these could be feeling connected with a group of friends, completing a certification, a house of your own, or to have a dog. Once your goal or goals are established, you and your therapist will figure out what is getting in the way of getting these things and what steps are needed in order to get them. We call these things targets. For example, some targets of things that may get in the way of obtaining and maintaining close friendships may include reactivity, shyness, people-pleasing, thinking of suicide. After all, it'd be difficult to have friends if you were not alive. Self-harming, using substances, restrictive eating or binging and purging, engaging in reckless or impulsive behavior, or if you're feeling depressed often and therefore don't leave the house, that would get in the way of making friends. Examples of some targets that may help you obtain a job may include updating a resume, looking for job postings, working on the confidence to interview, or networking with others in your desired field. To become a DBT therapist requires significant advanced training in DBT. DBT therapy differs from other types of therapies. The entire treatment is based on a hierarchy in which we first focus on the most important things. In the beginning, this would include treating any suicidal behaviors, self-injury, things that significantly impact your life's functioning, and things that get in the way of your therapy. After all, if you don't come to therapy, it would be hard to get to your goal. You and your therapist will track these things on a customized diary card. This process makes DBT extremely different than other treatments. You are continually working towards your goal, doing the things needed so that you accomplish them, focusing on the most important things first. In many other treatments, you talk about what is on your mind that week. You may feel better about your current circumstances and then come back next week with a new set of things to discuss. Sometimes this can feel like a game of whack-a-mole and that there's always the next situation. The focus and structure of DBT keeps us together moving towards your life worth living goal.